Hi, I'm here to talk to you about the House of the Dead movie. Now, I had just seen it, I think it was like last weekend, because as part of the San Francisco Indie Fest, they had the world premiere of the movie, and I sort of went along to check it out because last year, not too long after E3, I had the opportunity to visit the set and sort of see what they were doing. And I knew it was going to be something special because on that particular day that we visited the set, which was like in the middle of this really cool park in Canada, Peter Moore, who was like, bigwig over at Sega, and Mr. Nakagawa-san from WoW Entertainment, who developed the House of the Dead arcade series, were getting made up as zombies because they were going to be in the movie and get shot. So I had some real high hopes because I saw what they were doing, and it was, kind of interesting, to say the least. So when I did finally see the movie, I was pleasantly surprised because I think if you're a gamer, you have come to realize that games don't usually make a very good leap to movies. I mean, it's like a graveyard out there. We got Super Mario Brothers, which was probably that like sets the bar as low as it gets. Although Double Dragon was pretty bad too. Then you had the Mortal Kombats, which were, well, the first one was really good. The second one, you just didn't know what the hell was going on, so that's fine. And you got Street Fighter, which was slightly better than Double Dragon, but not what you'd call good, because really nobody looked like who they were supposed to. Probably like the two latest ones that people have been kind of okay with have been like Tomb Raider and Resident Evil. And Tomb Raider people were mostly okay with just because of Angelina Jolie. And there's kind of like nothing wrong with that. People were okay with Resident Evil because of Mila Jovovich. And again, that's okay. But the games and the movies didn't really jive with each other that well. Now, the thing about House of the Dead is that it kind of does fit the game, because the game's always been kind of like sort of ghetto. They kind of knew that because, you had sort of like the budget voice acting, but like the fun gameplay. And like the budget voice acting and the sort of crazy, exaggerated B-movie stuff was something they really started to play up in the series. So, anybody that was going to try and make like some kind of Criterion M. Night Shyamalan like high budget epic movie with this game was going to be in for like a tough call. And the cool thing is they didn't try. They sort of like realized kind of what the expectations were for the topic, which is just like a whole bunch of zombies and a lot of death and a lot of shooting. And they sort of took it in the B movie range, sort of, in the horror, Halloween, people try and have sex, get killed vein. And so in House of the Dead, you got a pack of kids go to an island to attend a rave, and they miss like the main boat that's taking everybody to the rave, so they follow. And when they get there, everybody's dead. They don't really get that everybody's dead, although you'd think that they kind of get the fact that everything is like destroyed, and there's nobody around, and there's a lot of blood, would sort of like give them a hint, but they're okay with it. And so, everything kind of falls apart when they start to realize what the heck's going on. And the movie just kind of works that way because no high expectations. Basic story, like I said, kids at rave, lots of zombies, people dying. Towards the end they sort of do try and tie it in, put a twist to it to sort of make it fit with the games. Kind of doesn't work, kind of does. Depends on like, how hardcore you are in the House of the Dead. Hopefully there's nobody that hardcore out in the House of the Dead. But yeah, so overall the movie kind of worked. Like the acting, nobody's going to win an Oscar. But if there was like a B-movie Oscar, like a lot of people would get them because they really kind of nailed the whole. It's like in some cases they almost sound like the bad voice acting from the game, so that's awesome. And there's lots of like little touches that intentional or not, or just like kind of funny and like worked in the whole B-movie thing. One of my personal favorites is like you have transitions in movies as they cut to another scene. Well, just all of a sudden you start getting gameplay footage of a House of the Dead game in between scenes in the film. And like the really cool thing is it's not House of the Dead 3, which is the latest game that just came out on Xbox last year. It's like arcade House of the Dead 2. And that's like really dope because there's a couple parts where you can see press start and free play in the corner of the screen, which is awesome. And there's like a bunch of little stuff, like just the fact that there's a lot of quick cuts and you see like kind of the same scene from a different angle, only like the people are kind of like changed around. And whether that's intentional or not, it's kind of funny because it all kind of fits together. A good example of that is just a great scene where like they're once again like running from the zombies, and there's like a scene of people running through the forest with a torch, and I swear to God, it might be my imagination, but I don't think so. Depending on which camera angle they're shooting, you're seeing that scene from, is somebody different holding the torch, and that's perfect.